So we don't have any pre-game question this time because you guys will not be playing as your characters for this game. We're going to be playing as factions, actually. So if everyone logs in, you guys should all be looking at the Galactic factions map right now, which I have filled out with pictures of different people to represent different faction leaders. And the vast majority of these people do not even have a name, much less a background or bio or anything. So I think what we're going to do is, as you pick out characters, we will come up with what is true about them, and then establish what they're doing in the galaxy from there. Before we get started with that, though, so I'm looking at the poll for the next level, and it looks like we have a tie between cleansing a Xenosian. Oh God, sorry. Cleansing a Xenosian infestation or committing corporate espionage, and as the tiebreaker, I'm going to go with the cleansing the infestation thing, just because I think that's something I could do really cool things with. And when we get to the next level, we might have those other two options available again to choose from. Okay. So I saw two pictures that Jeff had picked out on the Pinterest. We had a cool water spear thing and a picture of a strange little furry animal, which actually I have room for in the fiction already. Their name is escaping me right now, but they're going to be around. So I will keep those two in mind. Did anybody else look at Pinterest?
I meant to look at it with you, and then
Okay.
I looked at Pinterest, but I'm not too clear on some of that site's UI. I could just see a bunch of pictures. I didn't really know what to do with them.
So the idea is I have a board with a bunch of pictures that I think are interesting and appropriate to our setting. And a lot of the pictures are to help me kind of refine my own mental image of these things. So I have I have my technology panel, which has just a bunch of different weapons and items and stuff like that in it. And then I have the locations panel, which has just a bunch of different cool area paintings. And I occasionally poke through there and look at those things and look for inspiration in them. So oh, hey, this is a cool creepy abandoned warehouse thing. That would be a cool setting for a scene.
Okay.
So this was your opportunity, and you can still do it at any time before our next game, to go through there, just look at all of the things that I have pinned, all of which are valid images that are relevant to our campaign in some way, and pick out any of them that are interesting to you, and I will not necessarily include that exact image in our level, but I will at least be thinking about it and using it for inspiration.
Cool.
Okay. So we've got our next level, what's going to be going on, figured out. We've talked about Pinterest. That just leaves the Galactic Politic minigame. How's everybody doing so far? Everybody following along?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to assign us a faction?
So, no. So the way this works is you will look at this galactic map and point to any politician for any faction that seems interesting to you, and I will work with you on like coming up with a backstory for that faction leader and like what their motives might be and stuff like that. And then once we've established who that character is, then you guys will take that character and tell me a bit about what they are doing with their faction this month. Who would like to go first?
I think I could go first because I already picked out the guy that.
Okay. So Kevin was just pointing to this
Nice.
guy here in the top left. He's a corporate executive from the Free States of New Macedonia.
Do I just get like a lot of creative liberties with him?
Lots of creative liberties. I will, just to give you a start. I have made some names for corporations using this thing that I'm going to send to you. So I'm going to link. I guess I'll send it in Roll20. I think that's a little easier.
Okay.
Paste. Is that okay? Yeah, that should be clickable. So this is a business name generator that I found, which I have been using to come up with names for the businesses in the New Macedonia, and you can click in any like idea you have for like big business type and come up with what this guy's business is off of that. So a few that I have picked out ahead of time, I have Belmart, I have New Cola, Sophie, Wealthy Health. Oh no, sorry, just Wealth Health. Meal.ly, Flavora, and Crispy.
Okay. Oh wow.
Oh yeah, it designs them a logo and everything. It's so fucking good. This is an amazing website.
Are you gonna share that in chat?
It's in Roll20. You
It's in
can
Roll20.
You can click on it and generate do a quick generation for the recording if you want.
And I can kind of just enter whatever name or keyword
you
that I
enter
want.
any like idea, like oh, this is going to be like a batteries company, or this is going to be a car company.
Oh, yeah, this is your website. This is not like a joke. Name for these generic sounding like, oh my god. We're gonna go with conductive.
Yeah.
So, this is okay. This guy.
Okay.
I think his name should be Vincent Flick. Are you writing this down?
Yeah.
Vincent Flick. So his name is Vincent Flick. He is the CEO of Conductive, a corporation that specializes in.
Why does he not have token?
Oh, maybe I'll just something. More class.
Where did it go? Yeah, I don't see it.
I got rid of it because it was a long link. Let me make a bit.ly.
Okay. Okay, well, then let's do it this way. NPCs, new subfolder, faction, leaders, not a character.
You think Brandon might just get eat a lemon? Well, you're right.
Okay, you selected token, and so this guy's name was what?
Vincent Flick.
Okay, it is available to all players.
No.
And
It's so funny that these websites are like real, but they're also like a complete caricature.
yeah, absolutely. What was the name of it? It was Conductive.
Conductive. KONDU.
And did you say he was the CEO?
He's the CEO.
Okay. So now, I have saved it. You can alt double click on him. Oh, how did that not work? Is it not alt? I thought it was alt. Is it? Oh, it's because I haven't filled it in yet. What? 1 second.
Okay.
Vincent Flick. Try now. Okay. And it's now going to edit or just bio and info. You can click edit in the top right.
Okay.
And then
I'm just gonna spitball it.
sure,
And then
write things down.
no, I'll write things down while we're doing other.
Okay.
So Conductive is a corporation that specializes in resource extraction. It specializes in like rare galactic metals, and it specializes in insurrection. It has a. It's
How do
kind
you
of
get a
like
specialty in insurrection?
yeah. No, and it's actually Conductive is like more of like our business model is more. We're more like a holding company, right? Like I would say about 30% of our business is done in the insurrection quelling, and I believe that we can. I believe that we can grow that. So our next 5-year business strategy, we're gonna try to set up a. We're gonna try to set up a unit specifically dedicated to creating insurrections that we can then quell. So
it's so good.
yeah, we have a team on that, and we're working on some of the branding and like marketing for that. Yeah.
So perfect.
Right. We're also trying to leverage some of our foreign assets inside the Krell sovereignty to maybe do some like prisoner exchanges, and we're exploring all avenues for expansion into Krell sovereignty. So that's what we're working on right now.
This was an amazing story.
So that's what he has been.
Okay.
He has been working. He has spent the last month mostly in like Zoom meetings and stuff, and he's just trying to figure out how to create that division of.
Okay. Mikhail, I think you actually have to copy the image, and then you can just paste the image directly into Discord. Because
Can I put that right in the chat? Because does that not just bring you to that link?
Because right now the links you made just take me directly to just the like starting page. Okay, so Kevin has his political politics sona. Now we're not going to go over what you're doing this month until everybody else has theirs, because ideally the characters politicians are going to interact with each other. So
Question.
yes.
Do you remember where Roy came from? I cannot find it on my bio sheet.
He's from a faction, a planet in a rogue kingdom.
Cool.
But it is a planet. Well, it was either the rogue. Okay, it was a planet in the rogue kingdom that was being. It was like a laboratory for a group from the Free States of New Macedonia.
Okay, because I was gonna say I wanted to be that guy, but
Oh yeah.
I was going to have interactions more with the Rogue Kingdom, so that actually makes sense and works.
Okay. And yeah, Mikhail, that's perfect. All right. So, why don't you tell me something about this guy?
Does he have a name?
Not yet.
Okay, let's see. Names. Charles. Last name. Charles Mendenshire.
Right. That's very good. What's this dude's deal?
Charles Mendenshire is working with the Rogue Kingdom specifically with a corporation that works in both the Free States and the Rogue Kingdom, Red Corp.
Wait, does he work for Red Corp?
He doesn't work for them, but he's like, I mean, like how a politician is to a pharmaceutical company. So
Okay.
he doesn't
Sure.
work for them, but he works for them.
Sure.
So he is funneling humans from the Free States into the Rogue Kingdom for experimentations that lead to a binding of organic and synthetic life. He's trying to create AI, but as we know in the universe, the true AI that we think of doesn't really exist. So he's trying to break that barrier. And I feel like that would have had a hand in Roy's story as well. Like he's partially a product of these experiments. This is all just off the top of my head. I really have not thought beyond 3 seconds about that.
No,
No,
that's perfect. That's how this is supposed to be.
Personality-wise, he's an absolute douchebag.
No, what?
Think 45. Think 45, 30 years ago. That's who this dude is.
Okay, fantastic.
So this is like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air era Donald Trump.
Is there any other ideas you want me to jot down about him before we move on to the next person?
He is a sniveling coward. He has massive amounts of security forces around him at all times.
Where do the security forces come from? Like, are they contracted out or?
That's a good question. Maybe it's from the Rogue Kingdoms, or it could be from like different mercenary companies in the Rogue Kingdoms. That he uses.
No, it's from Conductive. We supply them at like, because we're trying to build economies of scale. We'll supply troops at a premium price.
That is fucked up.
Can I propose something?
Shoot.
I think that this guy is okay. So I wanted to create a faction in the Rogue Kingdoms that would be like an alliance of states for the Rogue Kingdoms, which they are not a united government. They are not one entity. It's mostly just that it's so hard for Rogue Kingdoms to maintain their independence in this galaxy that that they have decided to band together and like if one Rogue Kingdom is attacked, then like all of the Rogue Kingdoms in this alliance will come in to like defend them, that kind of thing. I think that this guy is a politician in that organization.
Okay.
Do you think that feels right?
Well, I would think that he'd be a politician affiliated with that organization, but he's from the Free States, not the Rogue Kingdom. So I wouldn't want him to be too deep into the Rogue Kingdom's like structure or whatever.
Okay. Then how about he's an ambassador that works with them.
Yeah. He's like a Juan Guaido type character.
Okay.
Juan Guaido plus Baby Trump equals Charles Mendenshire.
Mendenshire is a very good last name.
Okay.
Does he have any kids?
He does have kids, but they're not his. He has kids.
Like he owns children?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Man,
Yes.
I feel bad for asking that. Okay.
Yes. These are also some of the people that he uses for his personal guard.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Child
Oh,
soldiers.
God.
Love it.
Fuck yeah.
Child
Okay.
soldiers that weren't found to be appropriate for the experimentation being done in the labs in the Rogue Kingdom with Red Corp are put into his personal service.
Yeah, he still has to get money out of them. That was overhead.
Exactly.
Don't
It's
waste
an investment.
anything. Yeah, no, man, I really hate this dude.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Okay, so
Vincent Blick is just like, strategic partnership.
how would you spell his last name?
Oh,
That's how I would spell it.
Fuck yeah. Okay.
That's good.
Now, Aeneas, I saw in the chat that you were very interested in the guy with the hat, and the only guy I can think that you're talking about is this guy in the red here. Is that the one you were thinking?
I think I was actually talking about Lucian, but
Oh shit! I forgot Lucian has
Yeah,
a hat.
Lucian definitely
Fucking-
has a hat.
Lucian Joestar.
Lucian is definitely a dope ass character and very solid choice. I would like, it would be really cool if somebody was interested in this character, just because there's one thing I know about this character. He is the only Aelfin represented in all of these political leaders who is not associated with Alfheim. He's actually I can't remember the word I had for them. Like a renegade Aelfin who has left the community and gone out on his own and ended up in the Krell Sovereign and is one of the war chiefs of the Krell Sovereign.
Yeah, I'd be interested in this guy.
Okay,
Krell Sovereign guy.
we'll have you do him when we get to it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Aeneas, do you want to talk about Lucian a little bit? Because I can tell you what I have down for him, and then you can build off of that.
Sure.
Okay. So I've got my. Here we go.
Characters
Lucian.
weren't off limits, were they?
Huh?
They weren't off limits, were they?
No, they're encouraged. Okay. Here's what I have to tell you about Lucian. He is he oversees legislation and policing, so specifically creation and enforcement of laws in the Empire. So that doesn't mean that he makes every law. It means that he is in charge of the logistics of like elections and like making sure that politicians are, like behaving appropriately and enforcing kind of like the meta laws of like how laws are made and stuff like that. That in addition to being the head of the police force across the Terran Empire.
I'm totally detecting that he plays favorites. Like, he's in charge of all these things and he takes his job seriously, but I feel like he also has, like, a hidden agenda of, I'm just going to keep handing more power to the police whenever possible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, probably. And then so this is the thing, is that each of the 10 oh man, it's gonna bug me so bad that I can't remember. Each of the 9 Primarch are in charge of one branch of the government, or one or more branches of the government, and they all, every one of them is like pushing for their own interests and the like interests of their division, but there is a like balancing game where the other Primarchs kind of keep them in line within reason. So I'm saving this right now. So something you should know, Lucian is incredibly close with Dashiel. Where's Dashiel? Over here. Who is in charge of basically international stuff. He's in charge of diplomacy and trade and treaties and stuff like that. And another important relationship you should be aware of is Selena, who is in charge of what did I call it? Humanities in the Empire. So she works in like governmental housing and human services and adoptions and veteran affairs and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I would suspect, if, as you were saying, that he kind of pushes more for a police state, she's probably one of the main people who pushes against him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like she also just like based on the pictures, it looks like she'd be like, I'm not okay with that. And like, what does Atticus do?
Oh, Atticus does he look like a grade A douchebag?
Oh, he does, and I'm just like, I really want Lucian and Atticus to fight.
Okay.
I want them to have like arguments all the time about things.
So I think this is going to tell you a lot about him. Look deep into his eyes, and then think about this. He is in charge of the Department of the Interior, including environmental protection, human rights, small business protection, governmental oversight.
Oh my god, yes, okay. This is perfect. Lucian
Right? He's that kind of like so, oh man, I'm just so for the people. Everyone loves me and I just love people.
And you know he does that like arm wiggle thing where he like walks into the meetings and he's like, "Hey guys," and he's just like slapping them all over the place, and Lucian's just there like,
He's like a cute Rick Perry.
Yes.
Oh God! Terrible.
Wow, that's a pull.
Dancing among the stars. Nailed it.
But yeah, no, I not only is he like trying to regularly push things more towards police power, I would like to think that it's like he's also trying, like, he might not be as obvious about it right now, but it's like every little push he does, it's like not only is he pushing for police state, but he's pushing for like total surveillance. Like people don't have freedoms.
And something
like, I get to watch whoever I want.
Something to remember when we talk about the relationships between the Primarchs is that the Primarchs are not explicitly human. They're more like demigods. They're immortal, and each of the Primarchs here are about 300 years old, and they're also all siblings. Other than Selena, they're all brothers. And so...
Would you say that they're kind of like the judges from Final 12?
They're a lot like the judges.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and there's a lot of, as you were saying, with like these characters having these strong rivalries and strong friendships, that ties in with the fact that they're brothers who have known each other for a long time. And so there's a lot of like emotions there.
Ooh, this is gonna be good.
So that's perfect. So Lucian is Anangus' character. Morgan, you were interested in this dude in red here.
Yeah.
The dude with the red skin.
Yeah.
So he is an Aelfin. He has left the Aelfin nation of Alfheim and went out into the world. And you can fill in the story here, but at some point he ended up in the Krell Sovereign and somehow ended up being one of the 3 war chiefs of the Krell Sovereign.
Okay. So this dude's name right now is Lord Stevis. He changed his name from his Aelfin name. He doesn't like to talk about his old Aelfin name. No, I'm not going to tell what his old Aelfin name is. But his name is
So
Stevis.
is it Lord Stevus?
Stevis.
Okay.
So he broke from Elfheim. Remember how we were talking about like the first week that Elfin technology is like more natural, and that they don't like regular technology. So this dude like was just basically excommunicated from Alpine culture and started
because of his interest in regular galactic technology.
Yeah, right. And to the degree of an obsessive state. And so he's like, right now he's sleeved. Fully sleeved. But he's completely abandoned, like, Elfheim philosophy and has gone into this, like, this world of trying to, I think, rebel against the Free States of Macedonia and the Terran Empire and basically just bring them down from within.
Hold on. In a custom. Okay, so
But by
he
like playing
is-
politics.
Right. So he's a member of the Krell Sovereign, which are the very militaristic faction. And
Right. So he wants to play politics, but also he definitely wants to destroy the Free States of Macedonia and Terran Empire. He just wants to make it seem like the Baron from Dune playing politics with like the rest of the Empire, but like definitely has plans on his own for like dominate.
Okay, to destroy Free States and the Empire. Would you say so? The Krill Sovereign is constantly at war, and he's one of the war chiefs. What can you tell me about his like relationship with war and with his soldiers? Is he like particularly bloodthirsty? Do his soldiers love him?
Oh yeah, he's definitely bloodthirsty. He doesn't hide it at all that he's a fucking monster.
I'm sorry, that last part. Oh,
He's a monster. He
Yeah.
will go to like
Okay.
other galaxies and just like kill everything to colonize new planets
Hell yeah!
and then
is
take their
he-
resources.
Do his people love him for that? Like,
Oh yeah, the Krell Sovereign loves him for that.
fantastic. Is there anything else you want me to put down? Because I feel like we have a lot about him right now.
No, it's good.
Okay, fantastic. Who wants to go next?
unless Jeff is ready to go, I can go.
Okay. Go for it.
All right.
Who are you interested in?
So I am interested in this lady here.
Hold on. Mm-hmm.
And hold up, because I have a name. Her name is Fura. I'll throw it in
Okay.
chat.
And you're talking about the like lizard-looking lady, like, right?
Yeah, the gecko lady.
Okay. She is a
I was about to say the same thing.
She is a Nautilin.
Nautilin, cool. So for a long time, the diocese has been looking for a way to kind of break into more common forms of communication with the rest of the galaxy. And they've come upon a really awesome idea, which is what I linked in chat earlier. They basically came up with the equivalent of Zoom, but used mass market for space.
Oh my god.
Think of it the
Alright.
exact same way that you think of Zoom right now, except it also has spyware built into it that is feeding information back to the diocese.
Much
God.
like Zoom.
So still the same as Zoom now.
It's exactly the same as Zoom.
Okay.
Damn Chinese.
What's the
government.
name of that software?
It's literally called Space Force.
Nice.
Sorry, wrong. Space Zone.
Space Zone.
Even better.
Yeah, and I linked it up top.
Right.
And at first, it was something that I want to say that the Terran Empire and the Free States pushed back on. But with some convincing from our friends, the Xenocians, we were kind of able to push for it to be used worldwide, like, galaxy-wide.
Okay. Only caveat there. Nobody is friends with the Xenocians. They're like the Zerg. They are one of the two like universal enemies across the galaxy. Them and to some degree demons. So
Would it not make any sense, even kind of thematically, for the diocese to be in contact with the Xenocians? Or is that just like period, no one messes with the Xenocians? Because maybe if it's not all of them, I kind of would like for one character to be maybe in contact with them.
well, how about let's go ahead and do that, because I think that's fantastic. I think that as a faction, I can't say that they are, just because the Xenocians are so weird and there's a lot going on there. But so they're exactly like the Tyranids. They're very like infestation and like single-mindedly conquest driven, and I think that they usually don't even talk with other factions. Okay, give me a second. So she made this Skype-like software that has spyware built in, and of course nobody actually like believes that.
No, it's always just like talks. Like you hear about it in like the free states. It's like, yo, you know, using like we all use this, and I'm pretty sure that there are packets being sent back to the diocese, but
which is so funny because the free states absolutely like very publicly sell spyware to their people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So secretly talking with some Xenocian High Lord. Okay. Anything else you want to put down about her? Oh,
yes.
So one thing to keep in mind with the diocese is that the diocese are I mean, they are a church. Like the entire diocese is one church. So I want to know her relationship with the church.
So it's one where she's actually been looking to push further and further away from the church, mostly in an effort to keep her son safe.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna link a picture real quick. So that's her son.
God, I hate it.
And
you monster.
He's a secret agent, and she's installed him in the free states of New Macedonia to kind of push for a different vision for the church, where the church still has the strength it has, but it's looking to, I guess, basically consolidate its powers, specifically in the free states of New Macedonia.
Okay, 1 second. He's working to create a capitalist friendly branch of the diocese church.
Yeah, and right now her son is an envoy in the free cities, kind of working on her behalf.
Right. I have him down as a secret agent, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is he like middle management in some corporation right now?
Absolutely. He is working for the, let's call it the Free States Terran branch.
Oh, yes, working for us, I see.
Yep. That.
How about
that evil human, if you could call it a human.
Okay,
Charles
how about this?
Mendenshire
How
here,
about
though.
he's working for Nuvella Hafton, which is an umbrella corporation that owns other corporations, and if you like trace down the corporations that they own like 30% of the market.
Mm-hmm.
It was revealed that the Panama people.
Yeah, no, I really like that. I think at the end of the day, she's really hoping to break away from the diocese, but there's, like you said, just due to the nature of how big and how powerful the diocese are, it's hard to get out.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I love that. And you select the token. Perfect. Okay. 1 second. Limey. Sorry, I was just handed a muffin spoon.
Oh, okay. Is that a spoon made out of muffin, or is that a spoon
No,
with
it's a
muffin on it?
spoon covered in muffin dough.
Okay, that's all right. Both would have been acceptable, but that's cool.
All players.
Almost as good as chocolate.
Please, you have to stop that.
Okay. So. Oh, sorry. And let me go ahead and. This guy is Lord Shiva. Show name trait. State changes. Okay. Alright. So, some groups we don't have represented yet. We don't have anybody from the rogue states. We don't have anybody from the Xenosians or Alpine or the network. Jeff is the only player who hasn't gone yet. Am I correct there?
Yeah. Wait.
Jeff.
Is Morgan gone? I don't know.
Jeff, you're very quiet. Like, it's very hard to hear you. Do you have a mic you can choke up on?
No.
Yeah, I got you at 200%.
I think this happened last time. Just elevate me if you can. I don't even.
Oh.
I'm not even packed with my stuff right now, so I'm working with no mic on just the laptop proper.
Okay.
Hello? Can you hear me now? Is it okay?
I can hear you well enough. So,
Yeah.
okay. Which, who are you feeling?
Okay. So I have been thinking about how do I do a mark on it? Is it tab or what?
You just click and hold.
There we go. I was thinking
This
about
guy?
this guy, and I was also thinking if you didn't want me to double up on diocese, I guess I could probably say a similar thing to this guy, who's in the Rogue Kingdoms. But I'm actually really sort of interested
go
in
for
this guy.
it. If you're feeling it, go for it.
All right. So, thinking its name is Haywood Falk.
Okay. Real quick, because this is a race that I actually do have established. So let me tell you a little bit about this race. The race are named the Quarlu. They're very similar to a group in Halo called the Engineers, and I think there's a group in Mass Effect that are another just like big floating brain people.
Quarry?
They are basically massive brains on like tick-like bodies where they have a lot of trouble doing basic physical activities, but they have just unparalleled intelligence.
Oh, this will be perfect.
Yeah, and so the Quarlu actually broke like Galactic treaty very early on and landed on the world that the avian homeworld, and they educated the avians on technology and kind of started the diocese through the avians. And ever since then, they have always been represented in the upper echelons of the diocese.
So that particular image that I'm seeing there is just one member of the Orlu, right?
Yep.
Okay. And you talked a little bit about the diocese. I haven't refreshed the character building thing that we did originally to see what the diocese full story was. It's very religious. What else can you tell me about it? Did you say avian as well? Is that where the avian homeworld is?
Sorry, just typing. Right. So they're very religious. It is a church state. And it is so the Nautilans and Avians, the bird and fish people respectively, their homeworlds are both located within the diocese, and they were two of the early races to be converted by the church. They're much more racially diverse than most other factions because they are they're not like one biological people who are interested in like spreading their like population across the galaxy. Instead, they're a religious people who are interested in spreading their ideologies across the galaxy, and so they will accept anybody they can convert. Other things, the diocese teaches about the One, which is the belief that somewhere between Christian monotheism and like Hindu belief in Brahman, that all of the universe is one cohesive thing. And they are a socialism that is relatively egalitarian, although everybody who's a member of the church has like massive privileges on top of the other people. I don't know what else to tell you, so is that a good starting point?
Yeah. I've been jotting down a few ideas here of various sorts, and then I was going to kind of compile them based on what you were saying.
Okay.
All right. So Haywood is a purple person here. And I'm thinking what you're looking for in this whole character thing is like the character and then the company and then what the company's doing and then maybe a little bit of background about that individual, right? Is that what we're...
In the case of the New Macedonia, where everybody's companies, then companies, but just what are they in charge of? Okay. What is their faction?
Well, the faction's the diocese, right? Or
yes, but like, what within the diocese are they in charge of? So if they would be like the governor of a particular state, then they would be that. But it could be that they are like, in charge of like, faction defense, or they're in charge of economics or whatever.
Yeah, okay. I do have these ideas. I just didn't know what you meant by faction. So I'm thinking I've named it Quagmire Sweets. I can type this all out in the chat if you'd like me to later. Which is it does a few different tasks within the diocese, but basically the central task that they do is related to kind of luxury entertainment spa-like tourism. And so I think they're trying Haywood's ambitions here. There's specifically luxury candy experiences where they designed basically like psilocybin-laden candy, and they give people controlled environments, often catering to classy individuals and intentionally so, and trying to get them to come here and engage in the candy-like experiences. Within those candy-like experiences, they have some religious like hallucinations, which simultaneously sort of works in a few of the themes that the overall diocese is normally trying to sort of spread as far as their religious ideologies go. But more than anything, they're trying to rebrand the diocese a little bit as hip and fashionable and like a luxury comfort experience for visitors from all across the galaxy. And Haywood specifically, you said they have just giant brains and are pretty much useless physically. I think his experience, or I wasn't even thinking necessarily that he's a him, but comes from a middle-class religious background, but quickly realized that he could exploit the rich, like the movie Parasite. So that's why he took an interest in this. He also hates uncertainty, pestilence, and being the butt of jokes, which has historically been a problem considering how he looks. And he's also interested with this luxury spa tourism business to convince everyone that it's safe to be this close to the Xenocians, and that it's also a good thing. The threat is overblown by being this close to the Xenocians, but the expansion possibilities for this industry here are much more affordable because of how unpopular of an area it is, being so close to the living embodiment of Wrath, you know. So he's trying to convince everyone that it's safe and not really a problem. Although, of course, it is, and that's the irony of it.
So, what is his last name? We've got Haywood...
Falk.
B-A-L-K?
F-A-U-L-K. Falk.
Haywood... Okay. Being the butt of jokes, comma, convincing people.
Oh, and I also have a list of likes. Likes peace, luxury and comfort, obviously, and does like the philosophy of the diocese.
Okay. Oops. Comfort. Okay. Living near Xenocians is a good thing. Like peace, luxury, comfort, the diocese philosophy. All right. I think I have everything I need to know about this guy. Awesome. So, all right. So everybody has picked a avatar, for lack of a better word. Who would like to go first and talk about what their group has been up to this month?
Well, if nobody else wants to go.
Oh, Jesus. No. Okay, you have to do it in the voice the entire time.
Oh, let's see. I've been expanding my portfolio of children.
The worst thing I've ever heard.
I'm sorry. Doing this shit consistently is cracking me up. I've added 100 new guards to my personal guards. And I've been working directly with Red Corp to take those who don't make the cut for my household and have them blended with a new form of AI, which has been theorized by my scientists.
Okay.
Nice.
That's very good.
That's perfect.
Can I go next? Because I think that my character is probably connected to this.
Yeah.
So I've been... Vincent Flick has been building strategic relationships with another company inside the Free States called Red Corp. We've been taking the orphan children of insurrection crushing and selling it to a Mr. Charles Vindenshire in the center of the galaxy. We're building. We're also trying to. We're funneling money inside the Krell sovereignty to try to destabilize systems under the what's it called? Under the control of Lord Staple. We're trying to foment rebellion to weaken him so we can keep them from taking our system.
You know what's really exciting to me about this is if you guys ever do anything that is related to rebellions, I can literally have this guy be a character.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, you have literally all these guys be characters. We're also planning, once the rebellion in Lord Stavis's domain start, we're also going to sell riot gear.
Oh shit.
We'll set up shell corporations, because I know that they don't want to do business with us. We have a lot of experience. Set up a few shell corporations and try to funnel him, like riot gear stuff.
Oh God.
Little
I think,
does Vincent. Go ahead.
honestly, I think that Jeff's character is the only one that has a single redeemable quality.
Little did Vincent Blick know, Lord Stevis has been supplying said children to the Free States of Macedonia from other galaxies where he's been colonizing planets. Been purposely not killing them because now he's in the children business.
I need to correct one small thing. Nobody can get to other galaxies currently, so he's been from other.
Oh, okay.
Another thing that maybe is not clear here: the borders that are drawn on these maps are like areas that this faction has the highest density of influence, but the nature of the galaxy and star systems being so far spread apart, there are no hard borders in this galaxy. There's just, this planet is owned by this group. So, like, there are planets owned by the diocese inside of the Krell Sovereign. It's just that there are fewer of them. And not inside the Krell Sovereign, just inside territory with a higher density of Krell Sovereign influence than diocese. You see where I'm going with this?
Oh yeah.
It's hard to draw faction maps on a galaxy, so we do the best we can. Okay, so yes, you've been conquering other planets and funneling children from the places that you've conquered to Vincent Blick, who is funneling them to Charles Mendenshire.
And I'm using the profits I get from that to try to like create civil unrest, and we all hate each other secretly.
Yeah, little does Blick know I'm preparing an invasion myself. Lord
So
Stevis.
fucking good.
Side note, I thought that guy's name was Vincent Black this whole fucking game.
Wow.
I thought
Okay.
my eyes were just old.
I want to hear from Lucian, which is the name.
So I don't want this to be like, it feels kind of like overpowered, and obviously it's something that's getting wrapped up in the courts right now, but basically I'd like to think that for the last month, like, not only is it like a core thing of he wants to increase police oversight and surveillance, but I think Lucian's been spending a lot of his time trying to push through a measure in the courts that's just like, hey, so I'm not saying that we shouldn't be giving citizens the, ability to sleeve themselves, but I am saying that giving citizens like just this portal into like a world of power, depending on what they decide to pick up on and like get with their sleeves, that it's creating problems for the police. So he's been trying to push through measures of like everyone that gets sleeved is just like they've got a police tracker on them now, so they at least like know what you're doing, know what you're up to, know all about your sleeves.
Fantastic.
And Atticus is just like, that is completely police oversight, that is not fucking cool, that is against humanity, and he's been trying to block it at every given opportunity. So it's just been wrapped up in the courts because Lucian and Atticus won't fucking agree on it whatsoever.
Okay.
Oh, that's really
Not-
cool. Can I please
Yeah.
piggyback off of that?
Yes.
Yes.
Please do.
We've been supplying all of that data, the tactical data, directly to Lucian.
Oh, yes.
Hold on. I'm struggling to remember which Max and you were. You're not. Are you Vincent Flick?
That's me.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not Vincent.
Are you? You're
I'm
Clefairy.
Farah. Yes.
Okay, cool.
And we started Space Zoom, so we're basically helping to install a surveillance state within the Terran Empire.
Yeah. Okay, so you said that you were passing information to who?
Directly to Lucian to help back their cause for the Terran Empire, because right now Kerfera is just really trying to sow dissent between the Terran
fantastic.
Empire and the
Would
diocese.
you say? Would you say that this is something we're doing secretly, though? Like,
oh no, this
you're
is
giving me this information, but like we're not
I'm not
necessarily telling
directly-
people we have that.
No, I'm not directly doing that. I'm using my son as an envoy to do so, which is why he's also
Ooh.
that's why he's a secret agent.
Yes.
Through his so the because he owns or he works for that one umbrella corporation.
Mhm. And through one of the shell companies,
Nouveau
he's been
Option.
selling that
Yeah.
data directly to Lucian for however much space wealth that's worth.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, that's very good.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to co-opt that, but I figured that's a perfect
No, I love
opportunity to
that
kinda
is the
take
ideal.
advantage of that.
if we can have the characters like interface into each other's businesses, that's perfect. So okay, that's great. Haywood, what do you think that
Yeah.
you've been up to this month?
All right, so I don't know which characters from which different states this might interact with, or maybe none represented here, even if somewhat leaders. But I've been really trying to send out and coordinate a summit in the diocese from religious leaders, or people who could be like quasi-religious leaders from basically all over the galaxy. And
Okay.
I'd like to, I'm basically planning this for like next month, where I'm going to invite basically all of these people to come to the diocese in my luxury spa retreat, and then have sort of this like common ground, sort of like a G7 kind of, summit, where we're trying to sort of like ease tensions between various religions. Because I assume, and correct me if I'm wrong, maybe you know some of the lay land here better, but I assume that there's a lot of hostility here, and my goals are actually peace-oriented, and also self-promotion at the same time, and also to exploit all the rich people. But all of these things can be neatly packaged within one overarching goal of just having this peace summit. So
that's fantastic.
What other players might be important here to think about?
Well,
I think this goat guy in the Krell area has got to be religious.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so... Oh, that's so good. Okay, so the goat guy from the Krell Sovereign is... I'm gonna establish this. I had half of an idea for him, and you've helped me establish the other idea, the other half. So this guy is the leader of the like supernatural branch of the Krell army. He fosters scions, and turns them into magical super soldiers. And one of his favored strategies, and this is like semi-public knowledge. I assume that anybody who's like a faction leader would be aware of this, and especially if you were looking for people to invite, you would have found this. He when they're going to when they need to take out an entire region and not just one planet, he will drop information onto that planet that will create a demonic invasion, a demonic infestation, or whatever I was calling them. Outbreak, I think is what I called them. And so the entire planet gets taken over by demons, and then he actually has a working relationship with the demons themselves. And he has so many mystics under his control that he then turns his demon armies against the people in the whole region.
Oh shit!
So, how do you think the demon presence fits into the overall religious summit idea? Like, are they a religion? What are they?
No. So there are cults that follow them, but no widespread religions, because anybody who follows them for too long
break this down into finer grained understanding for me, because I honestly don't understand in universe what the difference is between a cult and religion.
The difference, I mean, it's a matter of scale, I suppose. The cults that worship the demons are never big, because by the time they get big, they all go insane and start like eating each other and stuff.
Okay.
So this guy, I think that he is in charge. He handles some religious stuff in the Krell Sovereign. The Krell Sovereign, their policy is much like Rome or Sparta, where they will conquer somebody and make them a subordinate state, but will not actually try to dictate like what they can do with their personal lives so much, as long as they, make their payments, their tax payments. So there's a large amount of religious diversity in the Krell Sovereign, because a lot of these places were just allowed to keep their native religions. I think that this guy, in addition to controlling, to having this like demonic branch of the army, I imagine that ties in with he kind of handles like religious legislation in the Krell Sovereign. Which religions are a risk of, which religions are a risk to us, stuff like that. So yeah, I think that he's definitely relevant to your thing. Another person I wanted to point out is Cryostro from the Terran Empire. He is the leader of the Terran Inquisition, and he is also the religious head of the Terran Church that preaches about the Starfather and the religious significance of the Primarch and the and the what are they called? The Nephilim, the Terran soldiers who ascended into the warp and are now like warp entities. So he is the head of the Terran religion and the like militant branch of the Terran religion, the Inquisition, and all like related things. So he would absolutely be coming, and I think the two of you would probably be like the two biggest religious representatives there.
What about this guy who looks like the Emperor in Star Wars in the Free States of New Macedonia? Surely he's a little religious.
He does have a tie on, though.
Unlimited power!
Yeah, you know what? I think that this guy probably... Oh my god. I'm so disgusted to myself even saying it. I feel like this guy owns a network of televangelists.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Billy Graham over here.
The other thing I wanted to say is that one of the other largest churches in the galaxy is Alfheim, because all of the Aelfin share one like religious understanding. I have been treating the Jewish community as the number one inspiration for Alfheim and for the Aelfin and just like that whole thing. So that's like, even though they're scattered all across the galaxy in all these different world ships, one of the things that ties them together is their religion. So I think that you probably end up with several different representatives from Alfheim coming.
Where is?
He would.
Oh, I was
Go
just
on.
going to ask, where is Alfheim lands located? Which
Across the entire
section?
galaxy, evenly distributed.
Okay.
So, Alfheim is made up of a number of world ships that that move throughout the galaxy, and they move in a constant, like spiral, like a constant wheel throughout the galaxy. So, there's always, like, there's always some Aelfin near-ish by, and there are a lot of Alfheim worlds, so yeah, they're kind of all over the place.
Okay. What were you going to say? I interrupted you, I think.
I was going to ask about Xenocians, but it makes, like, if you invited any Xenocians, nobody else would come, and also you would probably lose your planet. And I don't think, like, the network doesn't have any religion, so they wouldn't be represented.
I was thinking that Xenocians were basically, uncontactable, so...
Yeah.
Maybe I would send out, like, a little, like, email into the void, and then no one would respond back.
You just type in these Xenocians in the to bar of your email and click send.
It just gives me a could not like find recipient error message.
Fantastic. Okay. So we have I'm happy with how this has gone. I think we've accomplished what I wanted to do with this interlude game. We have only been playing for a little over an hour, so I guess I would like to get things started on the next bit. Let me check real fast. So, scheduling. We had this poll. Okay, I can do that basically anywhere. So, okay. We were last in the Terran Empire. I think that our next stop is going to be somewhere in the Diocese, because I can do this next chapter anywhere, and we haven't had any, we haven't done any time in the Diocese, so I think that, we might as well get some screen time with them. How about, does anybody have anything else they want to do on this Galactic faction map? Otherwise, I was going to move us over to the Gemini, and we could do some, some more interlude stuff with your characters.
I'm good.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Fantastic.
Just know that Charles Mendenshire is open for business. Any galactic empire that wishes to work in the Free States can do so.
Oh, God.
Yes.
So good. It's so good.
You're like the dead Koch brother that they brought back.
That's really accurate. That's really accurate.
Okay.
I love this character.
Let's see. Bar location, standard, compact.
That joke almost made me feel bad.
Nah, you shouldn't.
Nah.
Fuck the Cokes.
Okay. Have
Okay.
you guys ever seen the son of the third Koch brother?
Well, the voice I'm doing is from Hannibal. If you've ever seen the Mason Verger
Mhm.
character, he's quite a fucked up individual.
Yeah, very much so.
He basically ate his own face off and fed it to animals and just went insane.
Now, the son of the third Koch brother, the not famous Koch brother, he makes really tacky Hawaiian shirts.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, that's
From an
that's all I
oil
can
baron
say.
family to Hawaiian shirts. Cool. At least we all know where the Blue Glow boys are going for their attire.
Okay, so we're back on the ship. I'm handling some logistics with NPC tokens and stuff. Do you guys have let's do the same thing we did last time. There are all these different areas on the ship. Where do you guys see your character starting off today?
Root is definitely at the gym.
Is Yuda always at the gym?
Root is always at the gym.
Very good. Okay.
Sometimes
Roy
he's
is,
teaching a class at the gym.
Roy is chilling in whatever the ship's closest equivalent to a library would be, kind of looking like the character JT from Grandma's Boy. So he's like leaned back on a chair and it's got like 8 screens in front of him, all relaying information extremely fast across them.
Where did I say? All right, here's the gym.
Like a robot.
Hey,
Just
look,
like a
I have a
robot.
library on here, apparently. I did not think that I did have a library on here. Apparently I do.
Sweet.
Okay, so yes, you are in the library, looking at porn on the public computers.
No.
Roy said information.
So,
Roy does not presently require information about procreation.
Roy is like, data is data.
Is Emil at the club?
Emil is at the club because he wants to learn how to flirt with that one person from the other crew.
Fucking so good.
Yeah.
Is Levin teaching him?
No, but they may
Okay.
interact. I'm not sure. Blevin has.
Okay, hold on.
I'm going to invoke my.
This is happening. Go on.
Wait, who's that one? Who's the one person that canonically Amel has a crush on? What's her name?
Let's see. She's down here. Charlie. Wait, sorry. So we've got Charlie, who is the Nova machinist person, and then we've got Mesa
Nessa.
right here. This girl?
Yes, that girl.
Okay, cool.
Also, Amel, I'm going to invoke my glowing. I'm just going to be like strobing with the music.
Fucking so good. Okay.
Really hear that, Kevin.
Okay.
What do you say?
So, he said that he's using his glowing ability to strobe his body to the music. Mate, are you still in the laboratory?
I had something to say in relation to Mate, but I'll wait until after Mikhail goes.
Yeah, I'm going back to the bridge because that's.
Okay.
I'm hanging out with the ship's AI, and I will be right back. Give me like 2.
Okay.
Blevin,
let's see.
Blevin is at the tavern part of this particular tavern club establishment. He's specifically trying to pick up tricks and tips and maybe even practice, if the bartender will let him, making mixed drinks and cocktails, because he picked up the knack for it after serving everybody those cocktails with the little umbrellas in them.
Nice.
At his jacuzzi
Fantastic.
last game.
Okay, hold on. Let me go to Control K. Let me get our bartender out here. Layer token. Yeah, so our bartender's in this scene. Evelyn, where do you think Evelyn is hanging out?
stupid, but I would like to think that Evelyn is actually over in the conference rooms because she happened to find one that wasn't being used, and occasionally she'll just bring video games in there and play them because it's like, I can just put the projector up on the wall and it's a huge screen, and people will come by and be like, can you not do that? And I'm just like, well, nobody was using the conference room, so...
No, I'm sorry. Corin finds you in there playing some Ultra Smash Bros. And
Oh, yes.
needs to get in on that.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. But I feel like Evelyn would let her join, but it's like Evelyn's playing like 3 times as hard now because she's still pissed off about what happened in the cafeteria last time.
Is she uncomfortable? Yeah, how's the energy in this room?
I feel like it's definitely like Corin knows that Evelyn's feeling some type of way, but Evelyn's not going to say anything. It's just like she's pressing the buttons on the controller way harder than she has to, but otherwise she's like very stiff and silent.
Can I throw in? All right, so just to round out the party, I think that you have both Liko and Otema with you as well, because those two, Liko is always down for some USB. Oh my god. I'm sorry. It makes me so happy. Just the idea.
I am totally fine with playing video games with fucking Liko. She's great. I love her.
Okay, so Liko definitely is down for some Ultra Smash Bros. Otema is terrible at it, but she likes hanging out with you and hanging out with Liko. So I think that she probably plays like every 1 in 3 rounds and just tanks terribly. But between rounds, she doesn't play and she just watches and like cheers everybody on.
Oh yeah,
it's very good.
Like, oh, and Evelyn's totally a controller thrower, so whenever she does it, like Otema's probably sitting there like, Evelyn, please.
Yeah.
Try to calm yourself.
Okay. So I want to do Ruda's scene first. Ruda, you are at the gym, just crunching those weights.
Yeah, he's like going back and forth between the weights and the anti-grav chamber.
Yeah, getting sick gains. And after you come out of the anti-grav chamber for the second time, you see I changed my mind. You don't see Mesa. You see Charlie, this little Nova kid. I'm gonna say she's got a 15-pound weight and is struggling with both arms to get it up, and just does not look like she's doing very well.
Hey kid, what you doing there?
I think she like she's like and she drops it to the floor. She goes, "Oh man, I'm just trying to get sick gains is all here at the gym."
Well, you should try the anti-grav chamber.
Because of the lower gravity will help me to lift weights better?
You're gonna get sick gains, bro. Get in there. Rudy just calls everybody, bro. Doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah, she takes the weight and she's kind of like dragging it on the floor behind her, and she looks back at you one last time before stepping into the anti-grav chamber. What happens?
So he like turns on double the gravity and then like goes through this crazy exercise circuit with her and like shows her how to do everything in the gravity chamber.
That is very good. I will say, as soon as you turn on double the gravity, she has just fallen just flat against the floor.
Yeah, Rude hasn't noticed. He's just going through his notions of this circuit.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, she's pinned to the floor. Okay, so these two who else had a relationship with Charlie? I know that Mate uses Charlie for maintenance on their gun.
Yeah.
Does anybody else? I almost want to say Blovin had an interaction with her at one point.
Perhaps.
Okay. Well then, I think that yeah, I think this goes on for a while, Ruda, and you do. Yeah, I think that eventually Ruda would have to figure out that the anti-grav the double gravity thing is probably not going to work for her. And
Yeah, eventually he.
yeah, and
eventually
I
it
do you
happens.
think that maybe he just walks her through like maybe like a sit up, just like
Yeah.
let's get like one sit up down. Okay, so at the end of the like couple hours that you're there together, she successfully does one sit up, and she's running around the room and cheering and high fiving people who don't know what's going on, but they look like they're very happy for her. And I think at the end she's gonna say, thanks, Ruda. You're like you're a really good guy. I appreciate working out with you.
Anytime.
Okay, and then she high fives you.
The low five gesture, and then the high five gesture,
Okay.
and the behind the back gesture.
Wow.
I think that I think it's very good. I do think that when you high five her, her arm immediately goes numb and falls to her side, and that's how the scene is going to end. And now I want to do the next scene. So in the room, we've got Emil, who wants to work on some pickup artist techniques.
Not pickup artist.
Ugh.
We've got
Wrong choice of words there.
no, I'm standing by it. We've got Blovin, who is talking to the bartender and trying to pick up some what's it called? The people who are like experimental. He's trying to pick up some mixology from the bartender.
Oh, yes.
And then we have Takamaru. So how would Emil start going about trying to get better at flirting with people? He walks into the room. What's his first steps?
Go into a theory.
Okay.
Does he glow a little bit brighter, like Doc Manhattan?
He's glowing a little bit brighter than
Okay. Yeah. So Emil is standing in the corner. Is Emil like perhaps like staring at a girl?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Well, I think that as you're standing there, you see Shakamaru take a shot of something that looks very potent, and then he's just like crunching it on the dance floor, just absolutely ripping it up. And after a few minutes of that, he notices you, and he dances his way over to you, and he says, like, "Hey there, Mel. We met on the thing. How's it going?"
Amanda's just, he doesn't hear because it's so loud and he's not used to it. So you just see like a question mark emoji.
Okay. Yeah, he's
On
gonna
his face.
lean in real close to you and do the same thing but shouting.
And there's gonna be the thumbs up emoji on his face.
Hold on. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is what you. So you're in the corner. Can we say that you were like sitting at a booth?
Sure.
Okay.
By the way, my desire to do this storyline went from like 5 to 0 the second you said pickup. Oh no!
I'm so excited for it because Emil is so pure, and Emil just has the one girl that he wants to impress. But Shakamaru absolutely thinks of himself as a pickup artist, and this is going to go so well. Okay, so Shakamaru reaches over into the corner of the booth, and he flips a switch, and a like holographic kind of screen appears around the booth. It's like the holographic equivalent of faded glass. It basically just looks like fog around the booth. And as soon as he does that, the noise drops to. I really wish that I knew decibel measurements so I could drop a witty number of decibels here. But yeah, the noise drops to a reasonable volume where you can talk. And he says, Emil, right? We met at the thing. How are you doing? What are you doing sitting in a booth alone?
Just hanging, just being cool.
Just hanging and being cool.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I mean, that is also what I aspire to do with all of my days.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have any are you just going to continue to sit here in the booth alone?
Probably.
Do you want to continue to sit here in the booth alone?
Probably not.
Okay.
Well,
Have you considered that you could fix that? Oh no. Emil, I'm sensing some nervousness on your part. How
a
you
little
doing?
ambivalence there.
He's gonna say, Emil, have you had a drink yet?
No.
Would you like a drink?
Yeah.
What's your drink? Do you do plutonium?
Sorry, plutonium is acceptable.
Okay, Emil has a muffin. Nobody knows where the muffin comes from, but Emil has a muffin.
It's a plutonium.
Okay, yeah. So Shakamaru is gonna run over to the bar and very briefly picks up on Blovin's scene, which we're going to do in just a second. And he's going to get one shot glass of liquid plutonium, and then he gets
plutonium.
Well, yeah, you got to be able to do a shot.
Damn.
That's some. Hold on.
I like to cut it with
You
some
have
lemon
to-
juice.
Yes.
And he also has he also gets a shot glass for himself, and okay, so we have some 1,183 degree plutonium, or maybe it's just some like plutonium flakes mixed in with water and a solubility agent. Okay, so he gets one of those and a shot glass for himself, and he walks back over to the booth. He sets it down for you. He sets out his shot glass, and he pulls a flask out of his Haori kimono jacket thing. We were just having this conversation. I can't believe I can't remember what they're called. Pulls out a flask and he pours his own drink, and he holds it up to you and he says, "Red Fang Snake Venom," and he does little clinkies with you, and then downs his shot.
And Emil does like an atomic burp.
Yeah, he does. It had to be. Okay.
Podium sour.
Okay, I was going to have Hyakamaru give Emil some good advice to talk to women, but I think that what ends up happening instead, it sounds like
Do I just get trashed with Hikamaru?
Yeah, and I think that you and Hyakamaru just talk to each other for a while, and you just like become closer as friends and learn what each other are into.
And,
Oh, that's so weird.
so I have a friendship thing with him. I know that Hikamaru, Kevin the player knows Hikamaru is up to no good, so I want to roll like sense motive or the equivalent to get like
Intuition.
I want to take this time. Oh well, not the worst.
No, 9 isn't bad at all. 9 is, well, remember, an average person is going to do a 7 on an average thing on an average day.
Okay.
7 is the universal average of success, so 9 is good. Okay, you're rolling to see like if he has an ulterior motive in talking to you now.
Well, I'm just sort of getting. It's just a general. This is like my first. I'm spending an hour with the guy. I'm just sort of like assessing the situation.
Sure. So here's what I'll give you. He is he does not have any ulterior motives for discussing with you now. His official story is that he's just like a mercenary for hire going around the galaxy taking jobs, and the Gemini is just a convenient fit for him. You get the impression that there might be something more to it than that he's not telling you. And in particular, I think yeah, I think that in particular, you get the impression that he might not actually be working alone. He might be like, if he's lying about anything, that is the piece that that felt like most unnatural when he talked.
Okay.
So you get that on him, and I think that's it for this scene.
Okay.
Feels right, right?
Feels right.
Okay.
Closing time.
So Lovin, you have come into the bar. Did you come to the bar with Emil? Did you like come down with him?
That could have happened. I feel like
Okay.
that probably did.
So you two come to the bar. Emil heads off to the corner and ends up having his conversation with Hyakamaru. You
So I'd like to ask the bartender if I could.
Sure.
I've heard, and one time someone made me, and I absolutely loved it, a drink called the Old World Tyrant. Have you ever heard of it? Do you know how to make it? Can you show me how?
He raises a hand to you and he says, that's a drink I've not heard of in a long time. That's a rare drink. I think I might have it in one of these." And he goes to the back and he starts he's got a like array of like data chips on the section above the bar head, and he's tapping each of them with his finger, and as he does so, his finger lights up with each tap, and you realize that this guy is sleeved or at least augmented, and he is reading these data chips as he goes down the line. He gets to one and goes, yes, the Old World Tyrant. That's it's known as a few different things in a few different sectors. You what's your interest in it? Are you just looking to have one?
I actually am trying to pick up some skills bartending and making drinks. So that was just a classic drink in my head that I always wanted to learn how to make.
Certainly. Here, I'll make one for you. Just follow along. And
all right.
Jeff, would you like to tell me what you think that an old world tyrant is?
So, when you were talking about data chips earlier, I had this crazy idea that there's some analogous drink to Goldschlager in this universe that is made instead of with gold flakes, it's with microchip like extract. And it would appeal to cyborgs and sleeved people or something.
It's made up of ground up Britney Spears CDs.
It's only made with AOL installation CDs ground up to a fine powder.
And the universe is not set to run out of them for the next 1,000 years.
Right. They're completely archaic technology at this point. No one could even decipher what the original intent was. But they still have thousands of these things on hand for no apparent reason that anyone can quite understand in modern times.
Yeah, there's another variety that's made of the crunched up bits of old Madden games.
Okay, so he made this for you, and he's walking you through it, and he talks about the fact that in the galaxy, when you're a galaxy trotting bartender, the real secret is variety, because anybody who's just a bartender for their hometown can just have the hometown classics sitting around, know a few drinks, and be good. But when you've got a ship with humans and Fauниans and Aelfin and Nova and sleeved individuals and Florins and all these different people on it, coming from thousands of different homeworlds, you run into this situation where you just don't. It's about variety. So the trick to being a good bartender is having a good stock. Why don't you come back here? And do you come around back behind the bar?
Right. Yes.
Sure. So he walks you around and he shows you the his cabinet, and he's got this room behind the bar with vats of different liquids, all appropriately labeled, and then he's got it organized. He's got a fridge of animal parts and a fridge of plants and a container of metals and a container of minerals.
I'd like to think that Blovin definitely asks him about a few of the things he sees. One of the things that he must ask about is a drink that he assumes, or is a liquid that he assumes goes into drink making, but is actually just sort of this guy's hair conditioner or something.
Fuck yeah, absolutely, yes. He keeps it in here because it picks up the aromas of the alcohol and it makes his hair smell good.
Great.
Yeah, so he shows you all of his different supplies, and I think before the scene ends, you go back out front, and he gives you a list of 5 different drinks, and asks you to attempt any 3 of them. And I think that with some assistance, before the day is done, you manage to pull off 3 successful drinks, doing running through the back, finding the supplies, using the appropriate safety equipment to not injure yourself while handling the supplies and stuff like that.
I'd like to imagine, it's great. I'm glad that I was able to make 3 of the drinks successfully. I'd like to imagine that I approach it sort of like some sort of surgeon, where I don completely unnecessary latex gloves before I go to drink making.
Yeah, I think the latex gloves are unnecessary on the first drink, the second drink is a Nova drink, and I think he's going to be like, "Oh no, you need something heavier than latex gloves for this. You're going to want these lead-lined radiation-blocking gloves."
Yeah, it eventually looks like basically the gear that you have to get to blowtorch something. Like you have to put on a face shield, and like you take one of those like little prongs that like Homer Simpson uses when he's like handling.
This drink actually involves a welder. Fantastic. Okay, so now let's do. Do we want to get Roy out of the way real fast? So Roy, you're at the library reading. What do you imagine the scene being?
So like I said, I'm kind of like the scene in Grandma's Boy where you got JT sitting back on his chair with multiple screens in front of his face, and he's like listening to some deep ass techno.
Yeah.
I don't know if Roy is listening to that per se, but that's the ambiance of the scene.
Sure.
Well, I can make that happen.
Nice. We're gonna get some tunes. Cool. I imagine Roy is studying the information that he got from his encrypted hologram of the lab, and he would probably be in an email correspondence with Mate because they have things to talk about.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
So, do you want to have that? Do you want to have that email interaction, and we'll get this out of the way before.
Nice pick.
Before we're doing Mate scene.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what the contents of an interaction would be. At least the first one.
Yeah, for me, this is going to be great because I'm very used to, as Mate, initiating email conversations with a large portion of our group. This will probably be the first time somebody sent me an email, so I'll be very excited to see how this goes.
So Roy would send you an email with only 3 words. And those words are biological or digital. Question mark.
Okay. Mate sends you back a picture of this world's equivalent of whatever the new PlayStation is, but it's the one without the disk drive.
What the fuck does that even mean?
What did your thing mean?
Well, you asked me if I was biological or digital, and I'm 100% digital this generation. I don't know what you're talking about, so I'm sending you that because that's what I think you're talking about. Also, video game consoles in this universe.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I just enjoy it because it's almost as if Roy's relationship with Mate is like PC and Mac.
Yes,
trying to talk to one another. Like, what the fuck are you?
Sorry, we don't speak the same language. I need an update.
We need a compatibility patch.
Yeah, I send you back the image, and then in my signature is always a smiley face. So smiley face.
I think at this point Roy would actually just stop and drop everything that he's doing and get up and go to wherever Mate is.
You would come to the bridge?
Yeah. I would come to the bridge. Roy would come to the bridge, approach Mate, and say, "We need to discuss what happened. Follow me." And we go. If
I
you
was in
do
the middle
follow
of something. Okay. All right, Cheryl, I gotta go. I'll be back.
All right.
I mean, hold on. Because I don't know if we have a name for the captain yet. We have Captain Ilya. Is her name Captain Cheryl Ilya?
Oh my god.
Cheryl Ilya.
Maybe Shirley. I was. Maybe that's okay. So my logic behind saying body Cheryl was I was talking to the ship's AI, but maybe I named it after the captain.
No. Okay, I think that's okay. Fantastic. So you're talking to the AI by name. All right. So you head out. Do you guys head to one of the conference rooms to talk?
Actually, Roy would lead him back to Roy's chambers or his room
Thank
or
you, because
whatever.
I really didn't want to have to sing the soundtrack.
And
Ooh, what's this?
He turns on the hologram of the area that we destroyed. And Roy looks at Mate and just says, matter-of-factly, "You have knowledge of progenitors."
Fantastic.
I'm gonna scrunch up what little of the void is that's in my face and go, what do you mean? Who are the progenitors?
I'm imagining this is just so. I've been imagining that you have like an LCD display kind of face, and much like Emil does his little emoji things. I mean, I imagine Mate as just having the two little VB eyes that he uses for all of his expressions. I think when he does this, he just turns his face off.
So Roy gives Mate a wry smile because, again, Roy is an expert interrogator, and this isn't a scene where he plans to answer Mate's questions, which he doesn't believe are asked in honesty. And he takes off his shirt and turns around and says, "Anybody with knowledge of progenitors would have knowledge of this as well. What is this?"
And what exactly are you showing me on your back? Is it
There's
the
a
like,
tattoo
on
on Roy's back. Yeah. Have you ever seen the Altered Carbon anime?
No, I haven't.
Oh, damn. Okay, because that's a lot of the inspiration for this. So Roy has a tattoo of a triple helix going down the spine on his back. And it is not just a tattoo. It's some kind of software or technology in an input interface. So Roy thinks that because you have knowledge of the progenitors, and Roy believes that the progenitors or progenitor technology has something to do with what he is, he's asking if you have any information about software or technology that they have in current use in current society.
Okay, cool. Then I think I know how I want to play this.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn Mate turns their display back on because Mate was listening. They just didn't know how to respond. Upon seeing Roy's back, I'm gonna do just a quick scan for my own reference and to kind of keep that in my data banks, because this is stuff that I'm pretty sure that I should have access to, and I don't. And I'd like to tell Roy, buddy, I'm so sorry, but I don't have that information any longer. I'm kind of hoping the more I work with the Shrouded Woman, the more I'll find out about that. I'm pretty sure we talked about this room and kind of what this covers. So you can't keep this. I'm not going out of my way to keep things from you, and I know that this is not the answer you're looking for right now, but I'm looking to help you as much as I'm looking to help myself.
Intriguing. Roy puts his shirt back on and robotically turns around and just plainly states, "I have no interest in this room. My interest is in the users of its technology. Do you have any knowledge of who the Shrouded Woman may have interacted with prior to her interaction with our group?"
Bren, is it a lie if I say no?
I don't think you do.
Yeah, I technically don't think that I do. Yeah, no, I'm gonna start inching towards the door, and I'm gonna turn back, and my face is back on, and I'm kind of blushing, and I'm gonna go. You have a really nice physique, Rory.
God damn it!
Roy scowls with disgust because he hates his biological form.
I know you do, and I'm looking to end this conversation.
Oh,
Roy just slide slams the door shut in front of Mate's face.
Okay, cool. So now I'm hearing the muffled techno music outside of the door.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's that. I'm sorry if you wanted more from Mate, but that's all.
No, it's all good. What I wanted to establish story-wise was that Roy wasn't just being a dick to you for no reason.
Oh, no,
he's trying to figure out what the connection was with progenitor technology and what's on him.
Yeah, once I have more to give to the group, I definitely think I'm gonna share that out. But I'm like deep searching to figure out as much as I can before like my next encounter with the Shrouded Woman, because I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen sooner rather than later.
Okay.
Cool beans. I'm gonna look at the door one more time. I'm gonna put an email in my draft folder, which is just an apology to Roy, but I'm not gonna send it, and I'm just gonna go back to the bridge.
Okay.
Fantastic. So, Nate, your scene is done, right? Like, we don't need to do a scene with you on the bridge.
The only thing that I'd like to establish with Mate on the bridge would mostly be the conversation that I'm having with Cheryl, the AI, the ship's AI that I've named, and mostly because like over the course of a couple conversations we've had since we've come back, Cheryl has kind of developed into an entity that I'm having more fun talking to, who is kind of like not just giving me stock answers. So I'd like to just establish that the ship's AI has started to learn from me, and I'm kind of like hacking away at it to kind of give it more freedom. But that's all.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I love that. This has a lot of interesting potential. So cool. All right, and I think that the only one left to do is Evelyn, right?
I think so.
Okay, cool. Because I'm very excited about this scene. So, we've got Evelyn in the conference room with Liko and Orin and Otama. What can I do with this scene? Fuck. I know what it is. I know how this scene goes. Yeah. So, I think that Otema is probably picking up on the energy between Evelyn and Corin and has a little bit of an idea of what's going on there. And Liko is just a dumb, wonderful golden retriever. And I think that it's around the the third round that you guys are playing. Liko starts making some small talk, and she's talking about things that are going on around the ship, and then she leads into so what do you guys think about that new guy that we picked up at the end of last month, Yakamaru? Weird sleeve samurai guy. He's got a cool energy, doesn't he?
Rude is like, yeah.
Hold on,
sure.
hold the fuck on.
I don't know how illegal this is.
No, I'm sorry. The Root is in the room with them now. I love the mental image that they've been playing for like 3 rounds, and Evelyn and Corin have so much tension between each other that they did not notice Rito walk into the room, sit down, and pick up a controller.
He's just like silently he was silently watching for like the first like hour.
Yeah.
And then he just
that's
randomly picked up a
amazing.
controller.
It's so good, and he's never obviously he's never played video
He
games.
has no
before.
fucking clue what he's doing. Like he's losing
holding
so
the
badly at that
controller
video game.
down. Yeah. Okay, this is fantastic. So he so that happens. Yeah. So Evelyn, how do you respond?
I feel like Evelyn kind of like chokes at first because she's definitely not expecting the question, much less from Liko, and she's just like, "Oh yeah, he's cool. Yep, totally cool."
Yeah, and
That's
I
the
think
extent of my feelings about him. Don't ask me about it further.
it's so good. Yeah, I think that Otema discreetly slaps her not girlfriend on the back of the head. And Corin, who is the ship mechanic that slept with Yakamaru a while back, looks very awkward, and she says, yeah, I don't know, he's fine. He can I talk to you about something? And I think she's directing this at like Evelyn.
I feel like Evelyn just very slowly puts the controller down and she like turns to her slowly, but it's like super uncomfortable, and she's like, "Sure. What is it?"
It's just you've always seemed so like worldly and like confident with guys, and so Kakamaru and I like had a night together the other night, and he hasn't really talked to me since. Like I've tried talking to him in the hall, and he just like says hi and gives me a high five, and then
High five.
nothing.
I'm imagining being in college and giving a high five to some girl.
Okay, so I walk you through that was the best part. So Evelyn.
So I think after Corin like finishes what she's saying, like Evelyn teleports away for a split second, and you hear a hole being kicked into a wall nearby, and then boop, she's back in the room, and she's just like, "Oh, interesting. So, would you say that you are still interested in him, or?"
Yeah, I think Corin is like blushing pretty hard at this point. She's like, I mean, look, I don't have a lot of luck with guys usually, and I mean, I just live on the ship, so like we don't get that many guys that aren't like, totally gross macho type. And I think she like discreetly looks at Ruda for a second and then looks away. And she
just
like
trying not to pay
I don't
attention.
know. I mean, it was nice having that interaction, but if he's gonna be a jerk about it, then I guess no.
Some advice for you that might help.
Mm-hmm.
So, you said he likes to give you high fives, and it's really awkward now, right? I think that you should turn that back around on him. Whenever he goes to high five you, high five him back even harder. Assert your dominance.
We're just like, yeah.
Now this is very important to me because I have not we have not established this about Evelyn yet. Does Evelyn believe this is good advice or bad advice?
Oh no, this is 100% bad advice. I am trying to sabotage.
Okay, this is absolutely good advice when applied to Yakamaru.
Oh no!
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I think that from there the conversation devolves into Liko talking about how she had a good time like sparring with him in the training room the other day, and it devolves from there. But yeah, that was a fun scene. So I think we've gotten everybody's scenes done. I don't really have anything to start with for the next level because I have to plan how I'm gonna format it. So I don't have anything else left to do here. How are y'all feeling?
All right. That's cool. I'm feeling
Yeah.
good. It's been a good game.
Yeah, this was actually really cool. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed doing the Galactic map stuff.
Yeah, it was very fun and it had
Yeah.
it was a nice I think that all around a good palate cleanser after a very intense level. I think that these interludes are going to be really good.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Then in that case, I guess I'm going to head out.
All right.
All right. Good game.
Yeah,
Have a
short and
good rest
sweet.
of your Sunday.
See you next time.
Everyone
Bye.
enjoy your week. Catch y'all next week.
Y'all.
Bye,
Yep.
everybody.
You too.
Peace.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.